Now to fit the hoop, I'll put it roughly in place one side and try and get one screw in at a time. We got it in, and then we've got to shift this along so it lines up. Can't go mad with these. We've got one side on. Now for the other. And always start with this back one first. And then you can fuff with the front one. Last one, and that's the hoop back on. It's just getting these screws in because these are small. There we go. That completes the rear hoops. The rear seat's back in, and it's just a couple of screws. Once the frame's painted, and screw that back into place. The seat with the cushion off. We're going to just make the plastic a bit longer so it's the size of the seat. Remove these three bits here, and then remove the back two holes. The front ones I'm going to leave because it acts as a location for the seat, so it makes it a little bit more rigid on the base, but we'll start on that next. Now I've been stripping the seats down, and I've already cut the knobs off everywhere except for that one I've got to cut down with a saw. I managed to remove the back cloth, but where I've already redone these ones I can't get them off, so I'm going to have to find some new material and just use it like I normally use a different material, and I just hopefully can paint them in the same colour. If not, I'm going to have to paint all the seats to roughly match. But it's not easy, I'll be truthful, but I've got the backs I can reuse, it's just the base, so maybe if I'd done a sort of slight fade. Now we've got to extend the plastic to roughly match that area. So it doesn't need much at the front really. It's just at the back I think I could get away with. I don't know, but let's find some plastic and make a piece for across the back, and then I'm just gonna try and take it straight across with the cloth, and we'll see how that looks with some foam. Well, I've managed to make the lower ones, and I can't make them any thinner than that. They are got a little bit of foam in them, but they're a lot less than what they was. Messy underneath, but you're not going to see that once it's all painted up. But both are done, and what I'm going to do is clamp both together to hold the foam tight. Because I've not been able to, I'm going to be truthful, get the glue to stick to the chair frames. Super glue won't do nothing much. So it's actually the fab foam with glue which is going to hold the seats flat. But once it's dry, it will make the seat one piece, those bits, and it's not going to notice once it's sat down. The next thing is going to be trying to make the back parts, and I'll use this as a template and make them to fit that, and that will fit in the back, and that's going to be sort of thin plastic covered in, well, maybe a bit thicker, covered and glued on the same way. But at least it'll be easier to sort of cover first and then glue the whole thing on. That'll be much better. Now I've remade the backs and I've got them as thin as I can, but it's not much thinner than the original, but I think it is a little bit, you know, millimetre or something. So I didn't will as much, but I did use 2mm plastic, so I had something to screw into. I've just now got to colour the bottoms and hopefully get them to look a little bit like the tops. There you go, the seats are done, and the khaki paint doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look a lot different to the rear cushions, if any at all. So you can remake them if need be. I've repainted the axe and the shovel. I think they just look not so bright looking. Sort of made it to colour code a bit more in. Now I'm going to fit the seats in, and I just tried to gently drill out the holes and ended up drilling through, so I've just run the drill straight through. So I'm going to use the white glue in the middle of the 4 holes. I'll point them out. If you look, 2 sets of 4. The big hole at the back, don't worry about it because it's covered by the seat, so you haven't got to worry about that. And all you've got to do is get it to line up and push down gently in this area. Don't push on your edges where you've added your plastic. There we go. Now that's would adhere with that, and then you just put the 2 screws back in the front of the legs, and that's the seat fitted, and just basically leave it to dry. Oh, I've dropped my towel. Just got to pick the correct holes. It's that one there, this side. But the clear soft glue, if you have to ever remove the seats, will give you enough leeway to get them off. Well, that seems to be it. They're sitting flat, but they are a lot lower looking, so they should be better with the figure. And I'll just put the other one in. I've refitted the gear levers and the axe only because I've somehow lost the strap for the shovel. Well, the gun is on, the figure is just loosely in, but fits just that little bit better. I've now noticed there's a slight angle on the plastic, so it's sitting slightly downwards at the front. But I've reconnected all the electrics and everything's working on the steering. We've got drive, the headlamps are on, so I'm pleased with that. So I'm just going to give it a little run around the garden, see what it looks like, and then hopefully I can find the missing strap.
March along, sing a song with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way.